How's the 10 of y'all doing today? Back in the shop this week. And you see behind me, I moved the Nova over. Got the Dodge in, about to take the bedside out and rear bumper off. Gonna start replacing the bedside, get this thing knocked out real quick. I sprayed, this is actually Tuesday. I didn't do the intro yesterday, but I've got the s550, the orange s550. I have the jam sprayed on it, letting them dry good. I'll probably tape them up tomorrow and spray the rest of the car. And I've got the rocker panels for the Dodge all sanded, ready to be primed one more time. And then should be able to sand them and paint them after that. Yeah, as far as what's going on this week, I got that to do. The 01 GT, watch the previous video I uploaded if you haven't already, and you'll see what issues I made for myself on that one. And I had a paint supplier come by yesterday and give his opinion on if I need to darken that color up a little bit more before I go to try and blend it again. Because it seemed like, even though that I lightened it up most likely myself when I was trying to get rid of the fisheyes, that the color may have been a little too light to begin with. So just going to try and make sure it gets a little bit closer, so when I do the blend, it looks a lot better. Try and get that in after I get the Dodge sprayed and sand and prep that thing, get it took care of and back to its owner. And then going to start on the Jeep that's outside. Got parts coming for it, and got a small insurance job. Got to get the parts coming for it on a Chevy Cruze. So not short on any work. So I'm going to jump off here and get after it. Look at that. That's not supposed to be there. It's supposed to be on the truck. Wasn't too bad to get off. You can see right down there the inner brace is pushed in. I'm going to have to heat that up and bend it out so the new quarter or new bedside can weld to it. Other than that, I'm going to clean it up, get ready to test fit the new panel bedside, and I'm probably going to have to take that running board off so it's not in the way when I go to paint. But other than that, that's the only damage behind that damage. So I got the bumper off too. It's going to get replaced. The bracket's going to have to be straightened up a little bit, but other than that, I'm going to start putting the bedside on, prepping it, test fitting it, and all that good stuff. Well, I've been hard at it and got the bedside all welded up and panel bonded out through where it was panel bonded before. And gap's looking pretty good on the tailgate. We got a couple little spots I'm going to have to fix. I hit it with a hammer here on accident, and put a little dent in it right here, making it fit the bottom where it was damaged. There's it may block out, but there was a small dent in it right here that before I put the bedside on, that the I hammered and dollied a little bit, so that may be all right, but if anything, it may get it just a little bit of primer there. And I think there's a low spot just about right here that I'll fix. But other than that, she's on there, and won't like too much more, and I'll be putting some paint on it. But that's going to do it for right now. I'm going to go inside and eat supper. I ate me some supper, came back out here in the garage, went ahead and fixed all the places in the bedside that was questionable. It did have a small low area here, and there was the worst one. I bondoed it, fixed it, blocked it already, and just put some polyester putty over top of it to make sure there wasn't no pinholes, because I'm only going to want to prime this once. Everywhere that I welded did a lot better than the quarter panel. I actually missed a spot weld there grinding down, but even though that they did really good and welded really good, I went ahead and just knocked the tops of them off everywhere, just so when the topper goes on top of it, it don't hit anything. And then down through there, just clean them up. Well, welded real nice, but just wanted to make them smooth. And then welded up under there. The attachment only comes to right here, so it only welds up through here, and glues out through here too. But in the morning when I come back out here, I'll sand it with 320, and then feather 400, and then it'll be ready for primer. And I don't know if I'll tape up on the s550 first, or I'll work on this first, but I'll make up my mind in the morning. But I'll see you in the morning. Well, this morning I started untaping the s550 and sanding the quarter panel on it. Untaped it where I painted the jambs, sanded the quarter panel, sanded the door, got it ready. I'm gonna hang the door. I'm gonna hang the rear bumper. The trunk, I wanted to put the trunk on, but I noticed on my car yesterday, just walking by it while I was watching the dogs outside, and I noticed the back of the trunk hangs over a part of the rear bumper, so I don't want to fight getting paint right there. So I'm probably going to leave the trunk off, put it on a stand, and just blend it on a stand instead of on the car, because I really don't want to fight putting paint where the trunk covers the bumper. But the jams turned out real good. The paint seems to match real good. If you look right here, this is where I did the blend. Looks to match pretty good. Should be just fine on blending into the fender and everywhere I need to. But instead of me just keep rambling, I'm going to start hanging parts and start taping it up. nice and warm today. I ain't having to run the heater. But you can see I've got the white sprayed on there to do the blend. I put a little on the trunk, so it should match up good to the quarter. It's starting to dry now, so I'll come in here and tack off the orange and get ready to spray the orange. Okay guys, I got all the orange on. Blended out real nice. Laid out pretty slick. Not much trash at all in it. Should work out real good. Tomorrow I'll untape it and get the Dodge in here and spray it. Hopefully knock it out too. But it turned out real good. Should work. And after I sprayed the S550, I came out here and put sanded and put primer on the Dodge. So tomorrow I'll sand it, prep it, get it ready to be painted, and get it in the booth tomorrow. All right, I've sat the trunk on the car. It's just sitting here, it's not latched. But I put 2 bolts in the bumpers, and I put the door handle and the latch in, so it won't be banging around when I move it over into the other shop to have it put together and the glass and stuff put back in it. But that's what's going to be next, is get it back on the ground and then get it over into the other shop and start putting it together. I'm going to go ahead and go and start sanding that bedside and get it ready to come in here to paint it. Hey, you can see I got the truck in here in the booth, all taped up, ready to paint. S550 out there. I gotta move it over to the other shop. I may try and paint it this evening or wait until the morning. Most likely I'm going to try and spray it this evening. That way I can start putting it back together tomorrow and he can pick it up this weekend. But if I'm going to do that, I better get after it and stop talking to you. All right, went ahead and sprayed it this evening. Bedside's done, nice and white. Didn't spend too much time on it. It is a work truck, but still turned out good. Cut the edge, jam. Start putting it back together tomorrow so you can pick it up this weekend. That'll do it for tonight. I guess I can show you where I got in behind the cab also. Got enough paint back there too. All right, so I got the Dodge all put back together. About to pull it out. I did a little bit of polishing. You can kind of see the difference in it. This truck's really dirty. It's used as a work truck for a concrete company, so it hardly ever gets washed. And the bedside looked a lot brighter than the rest of the truck. If you can see in the camera, if I can get it to focus here, just how dirty it is compared to me polishing some of it. I can't hardly get it in the camera, but you can kind of see the edge right there and where I polished it, how dirty it is compared to polishing it a little bit. And then even though polishing this cab corner, it's still a little different than the door. And I believe that's because if I can get it caught in the camera, it's been painted before. So it's hard telling what. You can see how dry spray it is right there. It's a hard telling what color that they put their match, whoever painted on this cab corner did. So it you can see it's different than the door for sure. But I messaged the owner, good friends with him, and told him I would say with a good cleaning, the truck will match the bedside will match the truck a whole lot better, which is not bad. But before I polished that, it looked quite a bit different in camera before I did any polishing. It's kind of hard to capture, but even down here is a lot different. But I was joking around with him, and I sent him a messenger. I said I would say with a good washing it'll match a whole lot better, but it's going to get dirty. The bedside's going to get dirty before the truck's going to get washed, so it'll match that way. But I'm going to get it pulled out, and then I'm going to start back on the S550, getting it put back together and getting ready for the glass to be installed. Okay, I'm going to end this video off here. I've been working on putting the S550 back together. I haven't put the wing on there. I need to go and get a little bit of butyl tape so it don't try and leak through the holes. But I've got the side skirt put on. I got the door glass in, mirror on, door handle. I mean, not door handle, but the door panel back on. Is going to need cleaned up. I haven't done any cleaning. I'll do that when they put the glass in. But got the rear inner fender well put back on. Lights back in the bumper. Tail lights in. Got the trunk all back together. All but the plugs that go in it for the holes for the wing. But don't like much, and she'll be put back together when they come put the glass in next week. That'll be on next week's video. I'll get the interior put back together, and Jesse can come pick this thing up, and it'll be all took care of. But it did turn out pretty good. Pretty happy with it. Considering the damage that it took, it wasn't really that bad. Still got the door over here. I took the last little bit of stuff that was still on it off, and come back next week, and we'll get the S550 buttoned up. And not sure if I told you or not, but I got the fender flares for the Ram truck in the booth. I put another coat of primer on them while the booth was open. So they'll just need sanded, and then I'll be able to paint them with the fender flares. And I don't know if I'll get him to bring it next week or the week after to put them on, because I got a lot of little chips to touch up on his. Tomorrow I'm probably going to move the Nova into the booth, and I'm going to pull the Jeep in here and take it apart so I can make sure I get all the parts ordered for it Monday. And then I'm going to get the Mustang that's the blend didn't turn out good back in here. I'm going to sand all it back down. I got a pint and a half of color, and it's a little bit different this time. It's a darker variant, so I'm going to do a spray out on it before I do any painting, and see how close it matches the factory color before I go any further with that. And then I'll show that and show you how close it is. But come back next week to the channel and follow along with what's going, and we're going to keep knocking them out and making a little bit of space in here, catching back up from from being sick. And oh yeah, the Volkswagen and the Dodge was picked up today, so they're out of here. So yeah, well, instead of rambling anymore, I'm gonna let you go.